name is Geri Ambrosio. I'd like to say hello to all of the commissioners. It's very nice to see all of you. So, we're family. This is a room full of people. We all know each other. Everyone in this room has worked with Carl, has done something that is related to what Carl does. I don't have to sit up here and tell you the standard by which he conducts himself. So here's my question back to the five of you, because together, the five of you, our board, and our business administrator, we have a double A rating for this county. Triple A rating for the county. We are known throughout the state of New Jersey, and when I travel throughout, the United States of America, throughout the country, people talk about Ocean County. The management of this county government is stellar, stellar. So my question is simple. Why? Why are you doing this? This is not about Julie, because by all accounts, from what people have said, she's a magnificent person. I know Mike Fury personally. He's a great person. I don't know this other gentleman, Tristan. But I do know Carl. We all know Carl. We all know how our county is run under his guidance, and in conjunction with the five of you. So my question is simple. Why are you doing this? Why would you do this to someone who is not prepared to retire yet, who wants to stay and continue to run this county successfully? Why would you take a chance, especially at this time, when we have pandemics going on and this going on? Why would you want to take the person who's already managed those situations and done them as good as they could possibly be handled? Why would you replace him? What do you have to say to the taxpayers? I'm a taxpayer. I know I'm political, but I'm a taxpayer too. And I'm tired of things happening to my county which do not serve the people. So tell me, why are you doing this? Does anyone have an answer?
I don't know if anybody else does. I've said from the beginning, I am completely in favor of keeping Carl until January 1st.
Then who is not? Which of the commissioners is not? Because Gary Quinn has said he has done a great job. You say you want Carl to stay. Joe Vicari, do you want Carl to stay? Or do you want Carl to stay? Ginny, what is the answer here? Why are you doing this? Is this politically motivated? What? How does this help our county?
Gary Quinn.
Yeah, I'll answer the question. Before I answer your question, let me just go on one other comment when it comes to Julie, because had Julie come to us in the very beginning, I think it might have been a little different, but we all felt that Julie does such a phenomenal job here.
But you didn't put it out in public. That's why Julie didn't know until this was made
I
public.
said I would answer your question, so let me speak, okay? You stand, let me speak.
Okay.
So Julie came to us, we all spoke to Julie, and her credentials are phenomenal, but we're so deep into different projects with the finance department, we're short on staff in the finance department, and Julie, the only reason I had a long-term problem with Julie was because Julie's looking to retire herself in the next 2 or 3 years, and we are looking to get somebody on board that's going to be with us long-term. The question you're asking was raised at the pre-board meeting by Carl himself. And let me just say this board, not a single person on this board has ever shown any disrespect for Carl Block. You read a lot of stuff in social media, you read a lot of stuff in newspapers and all these different places that is not factually true. The sources that information is coming from, we all know where it's coming from, and it's not factually true. I want that to be very clear. But at the end of the day, when Carl asked that question last week, I spoke first. And I told him, I said, when I came on board 4 years ago onto this board, Carl was up for his reappointment on his contract. He's on a 3-year contract, and he's been renewed on his contract a number of times. And Carl came to me and said he wanted an extension on his contract. I was new. I didn't know a lot of the background. I didn't know a lot of goings on. But my question was, well, why? Well, I mean, what's the situation? It's some financial issues he had to work out, and he wasn't ready to retire. But he told me, and he gave me his word, in 3 years when his contract was up, he was ready to retire, spend more time with his family, his grandchildren, and his new wife. I accepted that, and I told Carl without a problem. There were other things attached to that decision which we also made, which are not public, and I'm not going to discuss them in public, because I will not discuss Carl's personal job that he does. I've always said he does a fantastic job, and I truly believe he does a good job. Everybody does a good job. Everybody's replaceable. We're looking right now to go into the future with this county and find people that are going to be able to lead us there. We all agree on one thing. Mike Fury is definitely the guy to take and go in that direction. But when Carl came, Timmy told me that, I made the decision, okay, I'm going to give a vote to yes, I'm going to extend the contract. At the end of the day, that contract went into effect, and which, after about 2 years, my thought process is we have to start planning for the future because Carl's leaving next year. Then at the end of the day, Carl decides, okay, I don't want to leave. Well, guess what? I made commitments to other people, just like I made to Carl on that date 4 years ago. I made commitments to Mike Fury that we're gonna be moving you up. I made commitments to different people in the county that we're gonna be shuffling some people around, and we started moving in that direction. So from my standpoint, the decisions I made were a commitment I made, and I was a man of my word, and I followed through with that word. And I never wavered on it, I never changed on it, and to this day, I would never do that. I will not talk bad about Carl, because Carl, you know, he might be unhappy about the situation, as you can see from filming this room, but there's a lot of people in this county that are also on the same page as we are, that think that we should start making a change. In the last couple of weeks, and the last couple of months really, we've been getting hammered up here as elected officials by people in the audience that believe that it's their word, they tell us what we're gonna do, and that's what we're gonna do. Guess what? It doesn't work that way. Every elected official in this room knows that you make the tough decisions. You're not always gonna make decisions to make everybody happy, but you're gonna make a tough decision. Some people are gonna be unhappy, other people are gonna be okay with it. So we're at a point right now in the road where I truly believe that it's time for the county to move in a different direction. Jack came to me and asked me if we could push it to September, because it was really June when the contract expired. No problem whatsoever. I agree with Jack. We'll give it till September so Carl can get all his pension papers in order and get everything done, because I don't want anybody to walk out of here and not have a source of income, which is why, you know, I was very agreeable, just as the rest of the board was, to go until September 1st. But at this point in time, I truly believe whatever the situation is that Carl has in his life, that's something he has to deal with. And I truly wish him the best, like anybody else that leaves our employment, that goes out on their own. But right now, my decision is that we have to start looking towards the future. We have to run this board as 5 commissioners, which is what we're elected to do. Hey, in an election, if people decide that we're not the right person to be here, so be it. That's the choice of the public, and that's the choice that the people will do to decide when they walk into the voting booth. Everybody's replaceable, there's no question about it. But in my opinion, that's the way I believe we should go. One clarification, Mr. Rubenstein, your theatrics were great, but one person you forgot to put in there, because Carl doesn't run the county. The commissioners are the ones to make the decisions in this county. Carl does what we give him direction to do. But the thing that you have to take, and apologize for on your way out of the room, was you said that Carl has kept the tax rate down lower than it's ever been in the state of New Jersey. That woman over there is when it takes, she runs the checkbook and she makes sure the tax rate is.
So Gary, thank you for answering that, I appreciate
I
that.
hope I gave you an answer, Judge.
Well, I'd like to know that
with truth, Mr. Quinn, you're better than that.
The
So let's not
extension-
perform for the crowd.
Okay. So the extension, Gary, then, just until the 1st of the year, why is that not a consideration?
Because we've made commitments at this point in time to certain people that I believe we have to honor those commitments, just as I honored the commitment to Carl when I decided to give him a new contract. I'm afraid if we don't do it now, Jerry, this isn't gonna end. We're just gonna have this going on for the next 6 months. We might end up having to go out and re-advertise, not advertise, have to start re-interviewing, bring other people in here. Tristan Collins, I met him a couple months ago.
I don't know Tristan Collins.
He's got a master's in a business degree in management. He's got a master's degree in a business management degree, a bachelor. He's got a master's in administrative science. He's got a second master's in homeland security. The man is very, very intelligent. The man is very, very qualified. Don't let people make it sound like when you're a person at that level of the state police that you're an unqualified person not able to work in management, because he worked in management. He worked in management under some of the top people in the state police. And to take and even think about taking and dragging this man's character and his qualifications through the mud, that's wrong. Nobody's met this man. And I'm going with the emphasis on what we interviewed him for, what his application, and his resume said are really the true facts, and that we're gonna be happy. If we're not happy, we replace
I think
him.
the concerns in that department only came into everybody's mind because no one knew who this was. No one, we have someone like Julie who's here who would make would be very good in that position. And it seemed like it was kind of done a little underhanded, but
It was
things
not
happen
done
that
on
way.
hand, Jerry, and at the end of the day, we always try to get the most qualified, talented person in the building, in our,
But isn't Carl the most talented, qualified person for his position?
Putting Carl aside, we always try to promote from within, but if we can't promote from within, we go out and we find the most qualified person, because the county residents are entitled to have the best people working.
Then why is it?
But my decision with Carl, I just explained to you why my decision is what it is.
So why is
Okay,
it?
really, Geri,
I went over my time. Thank you all very much. Enjoy the rest of your summer.
thank you. And here's somebody else out there saying something.